it going, everybody? Today we are playing some Road Kings and listening to the sweet sounds of Heelong. Show they did like a year ago, I think. And yeah, pretty. I love them. All right, let's see how it sounds with some game sounds. They're pretty drowned out. All right, that works for me. Let's just play. I first discovered Heelong when I was listening to a lot of native beats, and they kept suggesting that I might like Heelong, and I was like, I don't know, and I do enjoy them. It's a very primal kind of band they got going. So, if you are new to the stream, I am Adam. I do Boom-Go Pinball stream. I also tend to, right around lunchtime, I'll do like an hour where I basically try to put the easiest settings on the pinball table, other than I still keep it 3-ball, but extra balls are a little easier to get. And yeah, just stream, have fun, listen to some tunes, you know how that goes. So Road Kings is an 86 game, manufactured by Williams Pinball. This was definitely during the time period where they were, looking to keep the assembly line moving at all costs. And they would often kind of during lull, they would do some short runs of games that were, that utilized a lot of simpler like things that they already had around. What's kind of interesting about this game is, I feel like some of the elements like this center ramp here is obviously, I mean, maybe they were developing it for another game and it didn't work out, which would kind of make sense why it shifted. Like this one goes to the in lane, but this one goes to the out lane, and then you have the kickback, which will shoot the ball back up, kind of like Hobbit does. So it's just kind of an interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting thing because they definitely didn't. Obviously you have the 2 ramps, but that's still a lot of money to put into 2 ramps. I'm wondering where they, maybe this one, maybe the black one was part of a different game, maybe. Who knows? So the main source of points in Road King is either your detour, which can be built up by shooting the center ramp, and then after you spell road and kings, it lights one lane, and then after you spell road kings, again it lights the other lane. So those are some pretty good points, but probably the biggest points are going to be during multi-ball, because then everything is doubled, including the detour value. So I have I've got a pretty good setup here. And I believe also the detour value is progressive. So even once you collect it, it continues to build. Let's see what we're looking at here. So our detour value there was 50,000, which I think is pretty close to a base score. I think it raises by 5,000 or something. Maybe it starts at 40,000, something like that. So then that would be doubled during multi-ball, but then also you can get time lock during multi-ball. So in addition to just everything generally being doubled and you're hitting more balls around. But yeah, we had 120, so we must have built it up with those. You know what it is? I think it builds by like 50,000 every time you hit it, or I can't remember. You also have some piddly points. The eject value goes up, I think 10,000 every time you hit one of the eject holes when it's not lit for a lock. That one's lit for lock. But your time lock, which is basically your jackpot in multi-ball, it is a progressive jackpot, meaning that if you don't collect it during multi-ball, it stays, but you grow it by hitting unlit Road King letters, or by hitting pop bumpers. I think pop bumpers raise it by 1,000 per pop, and unlit letters raise it by about 5,000 per hit. And so now our detour is up to 60, and it's supposed to alternate, but sometimes you can get it where the diverter doesn't. It's an analog diverter, so sometimes the analog diverter won't switch over. So sometimes you can build that value up a little bit faster. Yeah, but so during multi-ball, if I start multi-ball, I build up that jackpot. If I don't collect it, I can continue to build it up based on where I left off. What's interesting, though, is that if I don't collect it at all during the game, it will remain until somebody collects it, which was a technique that they used a lot in the late 80s, early 90s to encourage people to play the game. If they could see that, gosh, the progressive jackpot basically equals a free game, well, they knew if they can get into multi-ball, they can get a free game by just doing that. And sometimes they couldn't get into multi-ball, and then it would get bigger and bigger and bigger until somebody got it. Kind of an interesting technique. The other thing worth noting on this game is it is run off a P-Rock board. Yeah, this jackpot's going to be huge because I keep failing out. So it's running off a P-Rock board because I am in the process of updating the rule set. So basically I took all the boards out, other than a power board. It's got a special driver board. There's no soundboard because the sound gets driven by just a regular Windows PC. And yeah, so then I'm programming new rules, but what I want to do is I'm basically going back through and recreating all the new rules in P-Rock, and then once I do that, I'm expanding it out. So that's how I, sat and figured out, like, all right, what everything does pretty much is pretty easy to understand, but it's not always completely straightforward. That was a little cheat there. This right outlane is ridiculous. Yeah. Now, one of the problems I'm having with my game is that even when the kickback is lit, sometimes the P-Rock is not fast enough to act. So sometimes you actually get it so that we'll miss. Oh, I don't have, if it misses like that, I don't have a problem spewing it back out because, hey, I should have gotten those points. I didn't. Should have. What do we got going? Stream lately has been really falling behind as far as the numbers go. I'm gonna look at who's watching. Hopefully everybody out there is more or less entertained, but there's just not a lot of people out there watching right now at one time. Which who can blame them? I was thinking lunch would be a really good. Hey, how's it going? Yes. So this is my P-Rock project. So it's actually run by a P-Rock, and as such, I am in the process of reprogramming the rules. So I'm running the original ROMs right now, but I am in the process of starting the new rules, and you gotta have the glass off to do tests. But the biggest thing is when I run it off the PT through the P-Rock and the original ROMs, the kickback, even though it's lit sometimes, it's not, the switch isn't fast enough to catch the ball. So sometimes I give it a little shove back, like, hey. So yes, the glass is off, and yes, sometimes I cheat because the glass is off. So you want to fight about it? So the P-Rock board allows you to, the P-Rock board it replaces the CPU, and then your CPU becomes a computer, like a Windows computer, a Mac computer. So basically, this computer is run off this little ultra small form factor, one of those little box. And it's cool because it actually, the original rules just it replaces you, so you can redo the rules. Now you have to redo the rules through it's through like a nuke or whatever. Pies, as of right now, you can run P-Rock on a Pi, but it's not quite powerful enough for most instances to do any complex graphics. So like you can run the original ROMs off of it, but if you want to do any HD graphics, it's like, nope. So I like it, but yeah, so what's interesting is basically all the rules, all the gameplay right now is just being run through PinMain, and then just all the switches are controllers. So it's like, so it's kind of neat. But some of the interactive things, like I said, like the kickback, just don't work because it's just not fast enough. It's not expecting it. So yeah, so what I'm actually thinking about doing is I'm gonna start doing streams where I go through my kind of homebrew journey, and I want to start interviewing a lot of the guys, ladies who are doing homebrew pins themselves, and just stuff they've learned and updates on their projects and whatnot. So, and I'll kind of do that Buffalo style where I'll do like a live podcast on my channel. It's a whole new world. What's interesting is there's so many different facets to the pinball world. Whether you're a player, a tournament player, a collector, a restorer, a modder, blah blah blah. It's so many different aspects. Yeah, see? Kickback wasn't fast enough. Like, it worked, but not really. Alright, I'm gonna play a real game here. I'm gonna play a real game. Oh. Well, because I was starting it up. I don't have a mouse pad. It's easier for me to have a mouse pad. When I have the glass on, yeah. When I have the glass on, I have to have a mouse pad on the glass. So it's like, take the glass off. You don't need a mouse pad. Right. Putting things on the play field, not having the glass on. What's the third one? What's that? Look at that. Yeah. It's a, yes. Look at the shrunken thing on the... Oh, right, mouse accuracy. Yeah, this is kind of a neat little, like, analog diverter. So it's supposed to divert it, left then right then left. But if you brick the shot, yeah, it's like a Purba almost. If you brick the shot, you can bump it so it turns the other way. Oh, I'm missing a there. That could be why. The thing was shaking a lot, and I was like, why is it shaking so much? I'm missing a screw. It's really funny because like not a lot of people have played this game. It gets shit talked all the time, but I love it. It was designed by Mark Ritchie, Steve Ritchie's brother. I'm trying to think what else. I know he did Firepower 2, but I think he did a couple games that were like of note. Did he do Diner maybe? No, maybe? I can't remember. But yeah, Mark Ritchie, and it was originally like a showdown game, like an old Western showdown. And then it was like a samurai game, and then finally they arrived at like a Mad Max motorcycle apocalypse. I like it. I've been in love with this game. I like games that either A, are not very well appreciated or known. Well, yeah, I like obscure games. I was definitely in on the Lion King train long before Lion King really became a thing, as big as it is now, especially. Because yeah, I would buy up all the games that nobody wanted. Everybody's like, oh, that's a shit game. Like, I mean, it is very reminiscent of it's very representative of High Speed. It was, you know, basically Steve Ritchie made High Speed and then his brother made this game. And so there's a lot of like sound effects and aspects to it that are reminiscent. But it's absolutely a very different game. It's simple because you basically are either in multi-ball or trying to build up. I mean, multi-ball is really where all the points are, which is, you know, not uncommon, but I agree. And you know, one of my big pet peeves is like, I get that you're not into the game, but that doesn't mean it's not like a good game. I mean, there's a lot of games I'm not into, but it's like, you don't have, like, just because, you know, the other thing too, and this is real, like, just because you're not good at a game or a game, you know, is beyond your skill set, doesn't mean it's a bad game. Just because a game is like hard to shoot or tight shots doesn't make it a bad game. It just means you've got to like work a little harder. And exactly, yeah. I mean, I've changed my opinion about a lot of games. So, especially, I always say, you know, put a little bit of time into a game. You never know what you might come up with, what you might find. So now that I've done that, I did have basically unlimited 50,000 jackpots, but yeah, I agree. Ah! I hate that. Where it's like, I was gonna have that and you took it away from me. Yes. I hate that. We're just like, you know what? This isn't fun anymore. I'm stopping now. That's a lot, and on Wonka, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. Right. So what, I caught some of that head-to-head Wonka stream. How'd that turn out? Do you feel like you're, I mean, obviously there's probably some bugs to work out, but feel good? Yeah, no, I'm not in my new studio yet. I moved everything. This is just my game room at home. I moved everything out of my studio, and because the studio's like 45 minutes away, and we're going to be moving out of there in 2 weeks, so I just moved everything out. But the unfortunate part is Maiden is still there. But at the same time, I honestly felt like I played enough Maiden that I was like, well, you know, I really should play something else. So. Ah. Ah. Cool. Yeah, I think as like titles get, but as pinball becomes a bigger and more visible status symbol. You know, I mean, it's still like way back in the day, it was having a pinball machine was a huge status symbol, and then it went away, and now I feel like having a pinball machine is a new status symbol. Yeah, I know. I think about it all the time. I'm like, man, if I was super rich, I'd be like, yeah, man. I'll take that Lebowski, that Big Bang Bar, that Bigfoot. I'll take. I would just have them all. But I've actually thought about that. I've thought about having, if I had, let's say if I had $10 million, I could just spend on pins. There are games that I would want, but I would almost honestly want to open up an arcade, because it would just be so sad for me to have some of the world's most rare pins and nobody to play it. It's like how many can you realistically play in a night, unless you're being a stingy bot. Yep. We're lucky. So so up in Cleveland there's a VarCon, and then obviously Papa has a VarCon, and then there's one in Cincinnati, there's one in Cleveland, and then there's one in Pittsburgh, and so those are all within 2 hours of me. VarCons. There's a joust in Cincinnati. There's we have Circle Tears on route here. Yeah. Those are fun games. Yeah. Yeah, VarCon. Yeah, I really dig those. I would get a lot of cocktail pins, the little cocktail pins and stuff. I hate that outright. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I was looking at it, and I feel like the only suggestion I had was maybe simplifying the layouts so they could fit together. So I know you had them stacked one on top of the other. I thought maybe if they were sitting next to each other, so it's almost like you get half the screen, they get half the screen. So then you could see that better. And obviously there's little things, but I think it's just going to be like oh yeah, that's good. Tetris block. I like that. Yes. Yeah, I think that would be great. That's a good idea. But that's the thing. I mean, think about the first time you ever streamed. It was probably a pile of crap, So this is like a whole new style of streaming. Right. That sounds good. Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked about this. Ideally, you would almost have like a third person who, and this is where it gets crazy. You have a third person who's in charge of recombining the streams and mixing the audio, and so when you're playing it, the audio shifts, or even if it's just one person, even if they pick you and you're the MC, you shift the audio over, so it's like you turn your audio off and their audio on, and then you're ideally though, like I said, it would be a third person handling all that, so that way you could just focus on playing. Almost like a commentator. I mean, I think especially because it's head to head, it'd be really cool to have a commentator. Yeah, so I do work for the Cleveland Browns, and they've got Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just the toys. That's why I love being a video producer. It's just like the toys that you can sometimes pull in and like incorporate little things that I, can get my hands on. Let's start again. To be honest, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, I do all right. I've met a lot of really cool people, so. Well, you for one, yes. You're in Albany, is that right? I go skiing at Holiday Valley, which I know is not right around the corner from Albany, but it's at least a little closer. Every now and again, I'll get a shoot in Albany. Yeah, for sure, man. You know what I love is I love making connections to streamers, and then like when I have him from Buffalo, connected with him, chit chat all the time, and then I had a job in Erie, PA, which is about an hour away from Buffalo, and then I was like, hey, I'm in town, let's battle. Battled on Road King or Swords of Fury, fun. I liked it. I liked it. I was sad to let it go. I sold it for my Wizard of Oz. It's worth having. I mean, it's the kind of game. It's right in between the kind of game where it's like good in a small collection, and it can get really frustrating. And to be honest, I think it's only on that middle ground because it's worth so much money that I'm like, I like having it, but I can get a lot of money out of it. Cool. I am. What am I streaming this weekend? I'm going to Tilt Amusements is having their summer pinball thing, and I believe Steve Ritchie is going to be there and Tim Sexton. So my hope is to get them on the stream and we can talk about Black Knight. And maybe even talk about some of Mark Ritchie's wonderful creations. Well, I will definitely be watching that. That should get you quite a few people. That's, I think at the tournament I'm going to require that 2 of the games are what do you call it? Jurassic Park and Swords of Fear, or yeah, Swords of Rage. Yeah. Whew. I'm on the ball 3. Get that extra ball. Yeah, no, man. I chat my ear off. If you weren't here, I'd be a lonely ass man. Well, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like today, you know, hey, there's just nobody. Everybody's watching Rudy Soup, which is fine. He's a good dude. Just like there's nobody out there. Ah, like that Pikachu. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing. That you know, that's the thing that I that I think, especially at our stage as a streamer, I think we just have to be comfortable if it's like, if one person shows up and, you know, we have a good chat like we are, it's like, all right, that's honestly, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to chat pinball with one person and play and, you know, BS. Found that the only way to regularly successfully get over that is by just up nudging. I agree. Yeah, when more than 3 people are chatting, see that becomes really difficult. When more than 3 people are chatting, I feel like somebody is always going to get ignored, and so sometimes I'll just let them chat. I'm just like, and I'll let them chat, and then I'll ping in. I'll be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, I agree with that. All right, I'll keep playing. You guys keep talking. Trying to remember what I think my nudging game really improved when I had an F14. So. Right? Yep. Yep. It's like, if anybody wants me, just tag me. Yeah, thanks. Probably in the next week or two, I'll get Maiden back, and we'll do some Maiden. Take care. Have a good one. I'll see you later. I'm sure I'll see you streaming, or you streaming, or me streaming, or whatever. Thanks for dropping in. Whoops. That was an actual kickback. Yes. Best part about this game is you don't really need to watch, or you don't need a lot of concentration. There are enough shots, but there's not so many that it's hard to make them blind. Oh, come on. Nope. Even had the donkey leg up. I hate when it gets stuck on that. Oh, well. Turn the music back up while we're waiting for friends to tune back in. Alright. So let's set a goal here. So we are at ball 3, just under a million. My goal is to survive, not drain, which I just did. My goal was to get the, I've pretty consistently gotten, 2 house balls and getting the extra ball, the multi-ball extra ball, and then getting the rotating multi-ball or extra ball, turning it right back into a 3-ball game. So let's see if we can do that. Hey, Rudy Sue! Thank you for the host. I appreciate you. Rudy, I hope that I hope your roof is okay, friend. Crow, thanks for the follow. I thoroughly enjoy your YouTube channel, Crow. You're a good dude. Now I gotta play for real, right? If anybody else out there is interested, I hit that follow button. It just makes me feel good. I'm easy to please. You can hit follow and then hit unfollow. That's fine with me. I don't care. Hey, thanks so much. Do some chores. Us stay-at-home dudes. We gotta do chores? Pete's sake. But hey, thank you so much. Great stream. I hope your roof is not cracked, beyond repair, unbeknownst to you. Thank you. If the music is too loud or the sound effects aren't loud enough, let me know. I can never tell. I'm like Steve Ritchie. I'm slightly deaf in one ear. I'm gonna say, so hey, by the way, if anybody is interested, I will be streaming Tilt Amusement's summer pinball thing this Friday, I think starting at 6 o'clock. Tim Sexton and Steve Ritchie are supposed to be there, so we'll see how that goes. Should be really fun. We should definitely be streaming. There's going to be the tournament on Friday is ping golf, and I think the tournament on Saturday is like a 20 strikes tournament. It's pretty intense. So anyways, we should definitely be streaming Jurassic Park and Swords of Rage, and then I think I'm going to rotate through 4 different games. So we'll see. Oh, hey, Vortex, how's it going? So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, yeah, I'm hoping to get them on the stream, hoping to get chatting with them, and yeah. Should be fun. If you're into that kind of thing. I'm excited because it's going to be kind of an interesting. I'm always interested in unique formats, so pin golf's a lot of, kind of a neat format. Let's see if I can get a real game going for you. Okay, so let me back up right here. Let me back up and explain. So we're looking at, if you're not familiar with this game, you're looking at Road Kings, Williams Pinball, 1986, designed by Mark Ritchie, who is the brother of Steve Ritchie, and it was kind of like one of those, and I know George Petro did the rules, I believe, but it's one of those kind of gap filler games where they had done high speed, they were looking for another game, they kind of had this layout. It was originally a samurai layout, and then a kind of an Old West shootout layout, and then they finally arrived at an apocalyptic kind of Mad Max kind of thing. And here, I'm going to turn the music down just in case. Now, one thing to note is this is also my P-Rock project, because P-Rock allows me to change the rules in the game. You replace the CPU, I replace the driver board because this is a System 11. You replace all that, and then you can go in through some of the different programming frameworks. I'm using Mission Pinball Framework, and reprogram the rules. But this is running the original rules through PinMain, and I have the glass off right now because when you run the original rules through PinMain, sometimes it doesn't always do the kickback when it should. So even though the kickback is lit, it will sometimes deny me access to that. So I have to have the glass off just in case that happens. But other than that, running the original rules through PinMain actually worked pretty well. I haven't noticed any other big issues than that. So that's why I have the glass off. Plus, it's sometimes fun to cheat, right? The basics of this game is you want to spell Road Kings, which you can do by physically hitting the targets on the left and the right side. Or if you hit the drop target, which is here, make the ramp once the drop target's down, or hit the right ramp. It will spot you a letter in Road Kings. Once you spell road, it will light a lock. And then once you spell kings, it will light the other lock. Lock 2 balls, you have a 2-ball multi-ball start. And then you want to relock your balls in any one of the 3. You have 3 locks, one up here, one over here, one up, one that goes around the ramp. If I could really play. Once you do that, you relock 2 balls for time lock, and then you collect a progressive jackpot, which is increased by hitting the pop bumpers and any unlit Road King targets. Need to figure out where that shot is, though. Flailing around right now. Yeah, and then everything else is doubled in multi-ball, including the detour values. So there's a lot of little values that you build up and collect, kind of mini jackpots. You're building up the detour value, so every time I hit this ramp, it's building up that value. Then once I spell Road Kings, it lights the left one. Road Kings again, it writes the right one. That can also be doubled during multi-ball. Every time I shoot one of the kickouts, it increases the kickout, basically the launch bonus, and it'll give me more points that way. So I'm just going to start playing, and if you guys have any questions, I also encourage random chit-chatting in chat. I like the social aspect. I'm not here, I'm here to answer questions. but I by no means need complete silence. This isn't a golf game. I actually like the challenge of carrying on a conversation while trying to play seriously, trying to find my shots. What's cool about this game is once I dial it back in, I can carry on a pretty good conversation. Because there's a lot of places that the ball can rest. So. This would be, I feel like this would be a great game to play for stall ball, because it has 3 good kickouts, and to be honest, this ramp is also, I feel like that could also be counted as a, see how that kickback's just a little slow sometimes? Yeah. I don't always catch, I mean, sometimes it will go flying. So we've got our right ramp lit. For a lock. So we want to collect. So some of the plans that I have for my expanded rule set is I'm going to add a third. So right now this is only a 2-ball game. I'm going to add a 3rd ball, create a 3-ball multi-ball, or the option to add a ball to the 2-ball multi-ball. I want to change a couple of the rules with how it handles this outlane here. Because it is like, it's a super hungry outlane. I want to add modes to this. I want to add a couple other. I just want to make it a little more dynamic. I really like the layout. What's cool is you've got the center ramp, which can change states. So you've got a drop target that's here. You can't really see it now. You've got a drop target's here. You drop that drop target down, and then I can shoot the ramps. I have the ramp on the right, and when you lock a ball, the ramp pops up. So now the ramp has popped up, so now that turns into an orbit. So what's cool is that shot can either be a ramp shot or an orbit shot. This can either be a drop target shot or a ramp shot. Then there's the regular orbits and some other things. So it's a simple layout, but I think it has enough in it that if you made the rules a little more complex, it could be really fun. Man. But I appreciate everybody for stopping in. I appreciate Rudy Soup for sending me a couple friends my way. We'll be back, Jack. All right, let's see if we can put up a real game. These have been pretty pitiful. Once you complete the rollover lanes, you increase your bonus multiplier, but you also had the opportunity for a timed hold bonus, which I just barely missed. Barely missed it. The interesting thing about this particular game is one of the legs was slightly shorter than the other one, so I have, and this was after I had the legs redone. The leveler got stuck in, so I have him on a little piece of wood because it was only like a fraction of an inch off, and so if I nudge, it shifts the game, and then the balance actually gets off, so it can be a lot of fun. Like, I've got to choose my nudges very wisely. If you want to see something cute, you can check out my little 4-year-old, who's 4 years old today. She loves playing with me on stream, and we've been streaming the last couple nights, and I had her like play by herself for a couple minutes. I just kind of curious what she would do. And it's really cute watching her play. She's still at the stage where she knows she's not supposed to double flip, but she can't. I don't think she can help herself. She just gets so excited. So, she'll learn. She'll learn. Man, let's focus up. Find that shot. That's why I like playing at home, because I like taking a game that I'm very familiar with and changing up one little thing, like where's the ramp shot, where's the tilt at, you know, changing it a little bit, and that really helps when you're trying to play on location or tournament play. Because believe it or not, that's another reason why I love pinball, is the games can be very different. Each game can be very different. Same game, but just, you know, the balance and the wear on the flippers, things like that. Let's see who's hanging out, who's lurking. I'm always curious about lurkers. I really appreciate Mark Ritchie games. You know, I like some Steve Ritchie games, but I'm not like a huge Ritchie fan. And I would say, in general, I also like Mark Ritchie. Nobody can be, I feel like nobody can be a perfect. You can get close, but nobody's perfect. Keith Owen, for instance. Pretty damn close. So we're in multi-ball. My main goal is to relock. Oh, missed out on that one. Once you have a really good multi-ball, the game really opens up, because you can light your next set of locks in multi-ball. So I've dropped out of multi-ball and then found myself able to relock balls, get right back into it. So that's kind of like your main thing, is getting into multi-ball and having a long enough multi-ball that you can relight your lock, so when you drop out, you can go back into it. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that just gets me. But, again, I was talking about this before. What's neat about this game is, in multi-ball, the first time you score a time lock gives you the opportunity to score an extra ball. So this is definitely, if you're playing extra balls, this is absolutely a game that if you get 2 house balls, there's still an opportunity. That right out lane, you just got to keep it out of there. So let's see if we can get in a multi-ball and get the extra ball on this one. We actually could end up with a pretty good. So that was the pity extra ball. That's another thing, kind of interesting game. If your first 2 balls were house balls, it will give you the opportunity to deem yourself 1 extra ball. And hopefully I can turn that into 2 extra balls with the multi-ball, and then possibly 3 if I can get the Road King's extra ball. Which is basically, I think you spell Road Kings 3 times all the way through. Ah, that was a little fumble. Well, we got one more ball, at least. That kickback again. I was watching Robert Gagnon play Road Kings. He's one of his favorite games. If that tells you anything, that it's and he will basically just he'll only shoot the center ramp to get letters, which I agree with. That right ramp can often result in that right drain, which is no fun. Another really big source of points here is straight in. Another big source of points is your whole bonus. If you can work your way all the way up to your full bonus and full bonus multipliers, you can get about 1 million, which is, pretty significant, especially if you can hold it over 3 balls. All right, let's shift it back over, and it should then be a little more level. I can usually tell when it's getting unlevel because it becomes super brutal. That right outlane. Not a fan. I've thought about putting an extra rubber there. To be honest, there's definitely a spot to put another rubber there, or a post. Hey, how's it going? Thank you. I'll get it.
Will be powered.
you're into any metal, Novice is a pretty good songsmith. I'm not sure what game it is, but it's like one of those games that you play a real guitar. It's like Guitar Hero, but with a real guitar. A lot of really good metal. Is that what it was? Rocksmith? That's what I thought. I couldn't remember. All right, I'm going to turn some music up, but if you guys want to chat a little bit more, let me know. Novice, I don't know if you've ever heard of these guys. This is Heelung out of the like Norway. I really dig them. Very Viking star, you know. They're headed up by this Viking shaman, and you know, and then their lead singer I know is in a couple metal bands, Norwegian metal bands. And yeah, their shows are intense. Their shows are more ceremonies than they are shows. All right, let's see what we can do here. If anybody's tuning in for the first time, feel free to ask any seemingly silly pinball questions. I love pinball, absolutely love it. So I will answer any pinball questions, any questions about the game. I've gone over it a couple times, but I will go over it again. No! Wanted that extra ball. Sometimes you can trust that bounce. Not often. That, gotta say, that orbit is so satisfying. It's becoming fairly imperative that I get my whole bonus, because this bonus is pretty significant, and if I can hold it throughout the game, that could easily result in me getting another 3 million just in bonus. So another thing, so I'm reprogramming some of the rules in this game, updating the graphics, kind of making it more of a apocalypse, you know, obviously right now there's no graphics, just numbers and letters. But one thing I want to do in addition to the rules is make use of some of the features on the playfield, because I will at times shoot for letters directly, but it's not the most safe strategy to shoot for the letters. You basically, most people just get them spotted through shooting the ramps. And I want to shoot at those targets more often. I want there to be a reason why I'm shooting, to make, you know, basically create another shot. So I was thinking about a mode that's all you do. So this is pretty unfortunate. I've got, I mean, the good thing is I've got about, what would that be? Like 320,000, give or take, in bonus. But had I held it, it's been so much better. Or maybe it's half, that's what it is. It's $500,000. You get a $500,000 max bonus. Still, you know, another $1.5 million over 4 balls when, like, you know, a decent score is $1.5 million. A good score, you know, I mean, some of my best scores are 6-7 million on here, but it's I find it a challenge because a lot of times I want to shoot on the fly, which is a Mark Ritchie, Steve Ritchie style, but I feel like, at least as a player, if not this machine, I do a lot better. See, that stupid kickback. That's one of the disadvantages of running it on this P-Rock. See, I'm taking it, because my ball should not have been gone. The P-Rock, the kickback just isn't fast enough. I've thought about putting something in there and letting, you know, but I don't know. You win some, you lose some. Like right now, I'm not doing as well as I wanted to, but the great thing about this game is you're still not out. Still not down and out. There's still an extra 2 extra balls that I can get. So we could turn this into a more positive game. Nudging is incredibly important on this game. Again, it's unfortunate because time I nudge, it gets imbalanced, but hey. I could fix a leg, just haven't.
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be ours.
If anybody's listening in chat, just let me know if the music's too loud. Sounds like it's okay. Oh, also entered into a contest with This Week in Pinball and Pin Stadium Lights. For the next 2 weeks or so, I'll be displaying the This Week in Pinball logos and the Pin Stadium logos, and for my chance to win my own set of streamer, like $700 streamer lights. So they're a lot easier to install and take off games quickly. And I think it also comes with a pretty sweet carrying bag. No! How is everybody doing out there? It looks like we've got a couple other people joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Adam. Welcome to the Boom Go Pinball stream. I like to call it Amateur Hour Arcade. I typically stream right around lunchtime for about an hour, sometimes more. We're playing Row Kings, Steve Ritchie, 1986. This is run by P-Rock board because I am in the middle of creating my rule set for it. And as such, the kickback sometimes fires and sometimes doesn't, so I have the glass off. Also, I have the glass off so I can cheat. That's just who I am. Funny enough, I was thinking about doing, I think about doing a lot of themed streams, and I was thinking about doing one called, like, you know, I don't know, something with the glass off, right? Where you play with the glass, you know, you have X amount of, like, Hand of God moves, where at any point in time you can play your Hand of God move and say, all right, I'm going to, you know, I can pull it out of the drain. I could put it, you know, if there's a shot I'm having a hard time getting, I could, you know, play it. I don't know. Keep it fresh. Keep it interesting. So that is good that we are on ball one. We've got our whole bonus, and we're up to 50,000 times 3, which is good. Now, the bonus multipliers don't carry over, but the base value does. Yeah, and you know it's funny too. There's a lot of, like, little buggy things in here. Like, so once I collect my whole bonus will still light. But it doesn't give me anything. So the whole bonus, hurry up, will light, but it doesn't give me anything. So it's like, okay, so either don't light or give me something. Like, I was thinking about increasing my bonus, like doing another bonus multiplier, or I don't know, anything, but nothing. If we can time lock. I really like timed multi-ball based objectives. So at this stage in the game, I can hit as many 50,000 or 500,000 loops as I want, or can, but sometimes you can't always get them. That's a pretty good ball one. We've got 90,000. Looks like we've got 90,000 that we're holding over. We've got our Road Kings extra ball lit. When I come back out, it should be fairly, since I had a pretty good multi-ball, it should be fairly easy for me to get back in a multi-ball. We've got one lit. So that's what I was talking about before. It really just takes one good multi-ball, and then you can just stay, you know, basically keep doing the thing. find that most of these kickouts are a little more backhandable. We're gonna switch our music here. I also would take requests if there's any music that anybody would be interested in. I would not say no. We'll just stick with the we'll stick with the stock sounds. Like classic. Here, we've been streaming for about an hour and a half now. I will probably take a little break here. I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. We'll see how well we're doing. How tired I get. I probably could have nudged that out. Really should have though, because that bonus would be nice to help. Oh well. So again, this is I mean, you get her warmed up and we're cooking. Much just need one more letter back into multi-ball. Remember how it awards. Yeah. Dang it. Yeah, it's the hard part. That right outline. No good. Once it's in there, you need a pretty dramatic move to get it out. Sometimes you can't even do that. That's what I'm talking about. It's just like unfair. Usually there are things you can do to save the ball. I feel like there was, in this instance, most likely nothing I could have done. Well, that ended quickly.
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be ours.
Maybe we'll play for 15 more minutes and get out. It looks like there aren't a lot of people interested in watching pinball this time of day. Not flailing. Gotta get something going. Nope.
Vengeance will be ours.
Definitely 15 minutes. I'm getting fatigued. Wonderful day to be playing some pinball. Any day we're alive, healthy. I got enough freedom that I can play pinball for an hour and a half. I'm okay. Doing all right. That nudge on the right, or that right outline can save you every time. Nope. Gosh. I'm gonna get that leg fixed. It's bothering me. Still have a good shot. We haven't collected any of the extra balls yet. Tell you what though, this game absolutely teaches you a lot of skills that translate into the newer games. You're a lot more. You have to be a lot more accurate when there's no ball save, and when there's just got outlines that are super tight. And hungry.
Fight the road game.
And for some reason, you've got your leg, a leg that's short, pin leg that's short. Got on a piece of wood that to slide around. Let's see what we got. Not bad. I want to figure out where I know that it's progressive. What is going on? That is not right. Huh. Something was me functioning there. Bummer. Weird. Seems to be working okay. We'll see. I've noticed a few little bugs in running through pin main, but for the most part, it runs fine. Other than that kickback, it's mostly kickback related, and there's a couple music cues that don't turn off. When I got 10 more minutes to play, I want to play a good game. I don't want to get down this third ball savior rule. There we go. Good kickback. Working on that one. Pick off a couple letters. Bummer. Never hesitate on your shot. I was gonna make the center ramp, and then I was like, no, I guess I'll lock my ball. Now, constantly aiming right between them. You gotta pick one or the other. Gotta be decisive. Center ramp. Good. We'll wrap it up. Post pass. And Rick. Can we do it? Flap save there. So flap save action. Very satisfying kickouts. Very satisfying. Firm kick out. Like I was saying before, I find that give it a real nice nudge as it's coming off that ramp. Tend not to run into problems. So who's all still watching? It'll be a good one? Terrible. Find out in one moment. Good. Kickback worked. Good. All right, let's pop one up. See? Hey! How's it going, Crow? I was saying before, I don't know if you heard, I thoroughly enjoy your YouTube. So thank you for the countless hours of content. That was it. That's no good. That's no good. Let's turn it back. Get a good game going. On the flipper. Right. Well, I hope you had a tasty lunch. Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, you had some good commentary, some good reviews. Oh, good. Yeah, I am, I think I'm gonna call it an afternoon here shortly and get myself some lunch as well. Right. Hey, boy, do I know it. Find it hard to focus when there's a burrito in my hand, period, about anything. It's like, there's a burrito in my hand. Be eating it. So this is Road Kings, 1986, released by Williams. It was definitely one of their line fillers. You know, they needed to keep the line moving. It was designed by signed by Mark Ritchie, who's Steve Ritchie's brother. So there are definite Ritchie things about this table. The theme was originally like a kabuki samurai, and then I think it was going to be like an Old West showdown. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of the same sound effects that they used in High Speed. But this is my this is running off a P-Rock, the replacement CPU. So I've got the P-Rock, and then it's running off just like a ultra small form factor PC. Right now I'm running the original rules through PinMain, which causes it runs pretty well. It causes a few issues with the kickback. The kickback, I would say, only fires half the time. So yeah, whenever it's easy because I can just play the original rules while I'm still developing my rule set, and it's great because I think of things like when I'm playing, I'm like, oh, I have, I don't like that it does this, or I don't like that it does that. Then I can think of rules that I want to add to it. So right now I'm in the process of converting all the rules to Mission Pinball framework. And then I will start. I've started my own rule set, but I wanted to go back. And kind of reprogram everything from scratch. Because I really do like the original rule set. It's just can get a little repetitive if you're playing it for 3 hours. Cool. I'm just, adding some modes, adding a couple different things. I want to utilize. I feel like the ramps are very well utilized, but the other two kickouts aren't utilized as much as I want, and the side targets aren't really. You don't really need to hit them because you can get spotted letters. You can spot letters from the ramps. So I mean, you can get letters from them, and sometimes you get a rebound, you get some letters. But I want a mode that makes you shoot at them. Like you have to more accurately shoot at them. So I started in my new rule set. I started doing that, but I wanted a little more incorporated into the original rules. One thing I'm doing. Playing with the glass off, in part for when the kickback doesn't work and it's supposed to, I can catch the ball, but I probably only. The kickback fails half the time, and half the time it fails, I don't grab the ball in time. So then sometimes I feel justified and just straight up cheat. What is going on here? See, like that. Like that stupid kickback. Should have fired. Did fire. Just fired too late. So we are maxed out. This is a really good position I'm in right now. We've got our bonus maxed out. We've got our bonus multipliers maxed out, and I have my whole bonus. So we were sitting pretty. Yeah, it's funny because I often think about that. I love doing tutorial videos, and I love doing history videos and overview videos. But Twitch is like a totally different animal where it's, obviously it's live, so you've got to do everything front to back perfect. You have some limitations as far as, how many angles you want to incorporate. So you might have 3 cameras or 4 cameras, but you don't have 4 ways to ingest all those cameras, then you're out of luck. I have plenty of cameras, but I only have so many ways to ingest the cameras. at one time. Plus, it's also very much like entertainment, you know? It's like in the moment entertainment rather than more informative. I don't think anybody would watch me play just straight up pinball on YouTube, but on Twitch, sure, I'll come hang out with you. And I do like the live element of it, being able to have conversation with people. So, it's fun. Ideally, I'd get whole bonus lit again before I drain. Might as well light my multi-ball. Nope. Bummer. That's a pretty good ball one. That's what I'm talking about with that whole bonus. It just really adds up. Woo! I also plan on adding a spinner, because I felt like this needed one more playfield feature. Or one more kind of, gimmick. So that, I've said before, but that time lock is more of a progressive jackpot that you can build up based on how many pop bumper hits you get. So it actually behooves you to play a little bit, let the ball roll around. It's pop bumpers and unlit letters, and I feel like there's one other. I know, I agree. One spinner at least. I feel like there has to be one other thing that adds to it, and I haven't figured it out yet. It's nowhere in the manual on what increases that progressive jackpot. That's another thing I want to get rid of. Is I'm okay with the method of the jackpot, but making it, I'm okay with it making it progressive per game, and possibly even between players, so I can build it up, but you could collect it. I just, in the home environment, progressive jackpots don't make sense. And they're annoying because it's like, why did I just get 4 billion? Oh yeah, because I haven't collected the jackpot in a while. It's been fun going through this game, trying to reverse engineer the rules. Get a pose. Nope. Yeah, good. I want, yeah, actually, that is worth going. Come on. So if anybody's interested in pinball tournaments, I'll be streaming the Tilt Amusements Pinball Wizards Tournament and the Summer Pinball Thing Part 2 tournament. I think we'll start probably Friday at 6 o'clock Eastern. We are hoping Steve Ritchie and Tim Sexton are supposed to be there. I'm not sure if they're getting there Friday or Saturday, so I'm hoping to get them on the stream. And should be, and it's, you know, we got some top level players that are going to be around. So should be a fun time had by at least one person. Nope. Hello, welcome everybody to Go Pinball Stream, Amateur Hour Arcade. Playing Road Kings right now, 1986 Steve Ritchie game. Much debated, sometimes despised, but always loved by true pinheads, such as myself, of course. Very simple rule set, but I dig it. Die! We're doing okay. Really hoping to get 5 million. So, let's give this one to Crow for being the latest follower. I appreciate it. We'll just do CRO for Crow. Thanks again for following, Crow.
We'll be back, Jack.
Let's see if I have another game in me. I might. I find that I have to be a lot more aggressive with this game. Otherwise, it just knocks you around. Especially, again, anytime it's right there. Yeah, that's pretty much a death sentence if you get like a dribble out. Good for you. Take the rest of the day off. You deserve it. Nope. Yes. Hey, Man Versus, how's it going? We're gonna get this. You know, yeah, I was listening to some really good Viking metal, and then I realized, no, the sounds on this table is much better. Are much better. The sounds on this table are much better. Yeah, that's more proper English. Thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. I'm still trying to figure out, like, I have a lot of availability around lunchtime Eastern, you know, the middle of the day. And I'm trying to figure out if there is, in fact, a good slot. I felt like I could catch a lot of people in the U.S. and Canada during lunchtime. I mean, that's when I tend to, well, for instance, that's when Crow's watching, that's for sure. Burrito mess. But yeah, I mean, I figured I would catch some people in the Eastern United States during lunchtime. I might be able to catch some of the guys in England right at the end of the day. You know, it's 5, 6 o'clock now in England. It's the evening in Australia. I thought, yeah, there's like very few people streaming during this time, but there's probably a reason why. I agree. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a video producer, and I mean, as long as I'm not with a client or if I need to listen to audio, I've got a stream playing in the background at all times, or a video or something. In fact, I like streams better because it's like a baseball game where you don't have to be watching to get what's going on. A video, sometimes you're going to miss, you know, whatever, right? Like, oh, you know, top 10 strangest ways that people have eaten bugs. I don't know, you know, but you're like, huh. But with a stream, you wait for the big moments. So that should build up our progressive jackpot pretty well for the next go around. I agree. I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube. But yeah, some of the content's like, I don't know. I still will watch a lot of the educational stuff, science videos and whatnot, but no. I agree. I love the interactive nature of Twitch. I can, you know, you see people playing like crap sometimes, you know. Hey, Al Anonymous, thank you for following. I really appreciate you. You are one of my heroes. Mostly because you live in Florida, and I don't know how you survive Florida man all day, every day. But you're a good dude, as well, of course. And you remind me of some of my friends anyways. So if I feel, actually, most of my friends are just like you. So there you go. Man, that kickback. So again, I feel like I have to make this announcement every time. I'm playing this through a P-Rock board because I'm redoing the rules, and this is the original rules run through PinMame, and the kickback just doesn't, I'd say the kickback only fires half the time. Okay, and then if I look down, I lose the ball. Good, I'm glad.
We'll be back, Jack.
Yeah, you guys say hi to the gator.
Vengeance will be ours.
I made this announcement before, but Friday we're gonna start streaming Tilt Amusements summer pinball thing, pin golf on Friday, and then I think it's like a 20 strikes tournament on Saturday. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll finish about the tournament. So 20 strikes Saturday and pin golf Friday. Tim Sexton and Steve Ritchie are supposed to be there. Dennis Nordman, I think, is also supposed to be there. So fingers crossed we'll get them on the stream. But, you know, I streamed a ton up until about maybe 3 years ago. And then just a lot of, you know, a lot of things started falling apart and just having a rough go of things. And so I took, which is crazy to say this, you know, I basically took 3 years off of streaming. And because I just couldn't do it. But I'm back and I love it. And I just got ball searched out of a letter. Oh yeah, and I am totally willing to help as much as I can. I love, the more, you know, my hope is that at any point in time, you know, we could get, I don't know, like you tune in and you can always find somebody streaming some virtual pin, somebody streaming a real pin, and, you know, and then there's choices. That's why you never want to have one Denny. To quote an early Family Guy episode, you don't want just one Denny's. You want 2. That way you can say, I don't want to go to that Denny's. Let's go to the good one. Yeah, see? And kickback. Sometimes when I miss it, I will just, if I drain during a kickback, I will wait until I do a legitimate drain, and then I'll just pluck the ball right back out. Make up for it. The Elgato is pretty good. I use Blackmagic, their Blackmagic mini recorders, because I'm streaming on a Mac. The Elgatos are good, but I am a video producer, and we have pretty much all Blackmagic stuff. So. Yes, the good Denny's. And I also agree. So my playfield camera is a Sony EA50. It's one of our junkier cameras, but for streaming it's really good. And then I've got some little Sony lipstick cams for my other one. So. But the camcorder absolutely is the way to go. You want it, like, the thing that really bothers me about the webcams is that you have so little control over your white balance, your exposure, your ISO. I mean, everything. It's like you gotta, you'll spend $75 on one of those those Logitech webcams, and then you're like, oh, and I can't control any of it, and there's no zoom. So if you want to push into the DMD or whatever, you can't.
Fight the road game.
Well, in that case, go to Best Buy, put a couple things under your shirt, and bam, you're a streamer. You're also a thief, but you're at least a streamer, right? Nope. We got 2 more letters. Hurry ups. That's what this game needs more of. In-lane hurry ups. Pinball 2 could collect that extra ball quite yet. Yeah, they'll get you. They will get you. Do you have anybody in your area who streams? Because, like, that could be a good way to kind of get started. Or for that matter, honestly, I dig the virtual pins. I want to know what is building that jackpot by 10 points. And also, why I didn't just get that extra ball. There it is. I would have gotten the mega score, but oh well. See you later. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You have a great one. Realizing now that I was like, yeah, I'll play for another 10-15 minutes, and here we are like half an hour later. This is what happens when you get chat going, you know? You don't feel like so out there and alone. Very simple game, but very fun. Yeah. This fall, I'm going to do at least a 12-hour stream and possibly a 24-hour stream. It's one of those things that, like, always wanted to do. You do it, you hate it, get it done. It's gonna be fun. We'll play some real pinball, virtual pinball, a couple arcade games. It'll be fun. I'll probably be dead though.
Fight the road game.
Nope. Try it out. Hey everybody who's just joining in, we're streaming Road Kings 1986, Mark Ritchie masterpiece. Draining left and right. Watch that right out lane. It is a killer. Running off a P-Rock, the pinball, what is the P-Rock is the pinball operating controller. Oh gosh, can't remember what it stands for, but controller's in there and operating is in it. But anyways, basically, so I can redo the rules through Mission Pinball Framework. I'm updating it basically to more of an apocalyptic theme with a full LCD, which is what we have here. If we pull out, so yeah, if we pull out, it's just an LCD that I have in the back box with a custom translate that I created for a movie that I worked on a couple years ago called The Red Skull. So I'm going to use some of those elements there. Playing with the glass off currently, as PinMame sometimes does not want to activate the kickback in a timely manner. So yeah, I'll grab the ball. I don't care. What is going on? God. See if we can get another 4 million score, and then we can call it a day, I guess. Whole bonus is, especially on hole 1, super important. Come on, ball search. Feels so inadequate.
Like the road game.
I think during multi-ball, the mega score gives you 400,000, and outside of multi-ball, it gives you 200,000. I mean, it's pretty lucrative, you know, especially when the time lock, which you have to build up, then collect, is only, you know, typically it's between 2 and 3,000, or 2 and 300,000. What did we say? 4 million? We might make it. Just need to get a couple more thousand. Hey! And a free plunge. Hey, we made it. Good. What? Well, is what it is. See that? That is weird. Oh well.
Vengeance will be devoured.
Make it too hard. Play one more, because I got it in me. We got to 4 million. To be honest, for as hard as I was shaking it, I definitely deserved that tilt. I was not super surprised about it, but it still, it still takes you by surprise, right? Like when you can see the digits. I feel like there's some weirdness going on. I know that in the left flasher fire, sometimes it triggers the left kick out, but wouldn't be surprised if there's some shenanigans going on there.
Fight the road game.
Observe that. Good. What ball is this? I'll save it. Extra ball for during multi-ball. I think it's still lit during multi-ball. We'll find out. Dangerous, dangerous. Ah. Good thing the jackpot's progressive, because what's nice about that when you drop out a multi-ball so fast, it's nice that it's a progressive jackpot, because then it gives you like a reason to go back, because it's like, all right, well, at least I put a little bit of work into it. For anybody who's just tuning in, don't forget, hit that follow button. It is free, and I appreciate it. It makes me feel good. So if you care about watching me play pinball, hit that follow button. Or if you don't care about me playing pinball, hit that follow button, then hit the unfollow button once I stop streaming. So, and then that'll show me, right? That'll teach me a lesson. been thinking of new modes that I'd like to incorporate in this game, and I thought, I like that the pop bumpers grow the jackpot, but I've also been thinking about the slings being integral into something, because the slings are something that very often, until some super sling, like in, Iron Maiden, which I play on the stream a lot, until super slings, it was like, we're just like, well, just another thing to get annoying. I got Super Slings Multi-Ball. It's all based on sling hits, your jackpot. Kind of like Mummy Multi-Ball.
Fight the road game.
Good. Bad. BS. It's another reason why I love this era of game. No ball save, no matter what, even during multi-ball. Great. All three definitely get that extra ball. Close one.
Fight the road game.
Nope. Eh? One. Hard to recover from, but you can do it, right? What do we get? What do we got? Nothing, yeah. So then, mega score, that's where the real points are. Which should be... should be backhanded. Talking about. You just pop out and it's like, oh, would you like a lock, sir? Yes. Well, yes, I would. Would you like to drain? No. Well, too bad. But we're serving today. I feel like doing a one-man podcast. A couple years ago, right around the time I quit streaming, I also quit doing a podcast. But it really taught me cheat. No, I'm just kidding. It taught me, actually here. Well, we'll let that dry. That was not fair. But it taught me how to keep a conversation with myself. You know, I talk to myself a lot on the podcast, so it's good because you can keep a dialogue going with yourself, which is possibly a sign of a healthy mental state, but possibly not. Who knows? And I've been thinking about picking the old podcast torch back up and starting a homebrew pinball podcast. Just interviewing all the people involved with doing, low runs, boutique. I'd say anybody who is planning on doing a run under, I don't know, maybe 100 or so. Or for that matter, under 1,000. If they're only going to run 1,000 of the game period, like not the limited edition ones, but like that game period, I would count them in that because they're definitely the still in the beginning stages. But yeah, just talk to them about what they've learned, what they're willing to share. A lot of the homebrew people, good dudes. There's a lot of really talented people out there with pretty amazing projects. Another rule I'm thinking about implementing is every time you lock time lock ball but don't collect it, I don't know. That gives you something. Builds towards your bonus or your jackpot. I guess it's worth it because you're basically, it's the same as lighting your bonus. The time lock's just an added thing, I guess. But unfortunate part is that lane was not registering. Sometimes that switch go through fast won't register, so I should have definitely gotten more, but I didn't. All right, we got one letter. We can start again. What I love, like, you get a halfway decent score on 3. Go. Nope. I think I got that extra ball. Ah! Burn. Enough? Nope. Oh well. Al Anonymous, I'm going to give this one to you. I appreciate the follow. Thank you. All right, we got about 12 more minutes, and I should probably head out, but see how long we've been streaming. About 2.5 hours. The advantage of not having the glass on. If you didn't already hear, Friday I'll be streaming at Tilt Amusements. Their big summer do. 2 tournaments, one on Friday, one on Saturday. Hopefully we're hoping to get Tim Sexton, Steve Ritchie, and Dennis Nordman on. So should be a fun time. Nope. I always wonder what goes on behind closed doors there at Tilt Amusements, because Trent is one of the premier Stern distributors, and he's also pretty consistently one of the playtesters. So I always wonder what secret things they're bringing to him in the dark of night. Try to poke around. Right out lane. If there's any design flaw with this game, it's just personally, because I don't have a lot of luck with it, and that's, you know, typically if you don't like something about a game, it's because it screws you over. It's the right out lane, in lane. It is incredibly unfair. Like, these are even. This is not. Definitely not even. And I don't understand why that was. I'm sure there was a reason, but it just seems sadistic. If you're not already following, don't forget to follow that, or hit that follow button. Appreciate it. A lot to me. Why is that not registered? Hummer. Huh. Game may be falling apart before our eyes. Curious if that, maybe it was just a programming thing. See if it counts it. Alright, it did, so. Again, it's just one of the inherent problems of running this through PinMame. Sometimes little bits and pieces fall through the cracks. Nope. center ramp is really the way to collect letters. You not only get Road King letters, but you also build up your D4 bonus, which can be pretty significant, especially if doubled multi-ball. Nope. Alright, this may be my last game. We'll see. See how long it takes. It's a short game, no. Long game, I don't know. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's fun hanging out, playing some games, chit-chatting. This game, I find that you don't, at least for me, you don't come across them very often. I believe it was in the state championships back when they were in Dallas a couple years ago. It's been in a few. I think it's been in a never drain or never drains. What is that tournament? Yeah, never drains tournament. Indisc. That's what they call it, Indisc. Same thing. Gosh. Okay, this is the last game. Yeah. Let's make this one the last. I'm losing focus for sure. There's so little to nudge off. Even if you nudge off this rubber, it basically just hits the sling and you're still screwed. Makes it incredibly deadly. Yeah, I mean, honestly, especially if you nudge off that rubber, then you're definitely screwed. That was silly. Go out with a bang. Or a whimper. I'll take either one. Ugh. Nope. All right, potentially last ball. But again, thanks for tuning in. We can cash this in. Okay. We're over. Low.
Fight the road game.
That was my fault. Nope. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. And one last thing I'll let you go before I let you go. I am a very strong advocate for mental health awareness, mental health fitness awareness, and definitely something that really brought me down for a couple years, kept me away from my friends and my pinballs and all that great stuff. So I'll play a couple PSAs, just to remind you that if you need help, feel free to ask myself. There are people out there who care about you and want you, want to help you. And so you're more than welcome to ask me if anything you need. Or, hey, that's half the reason why I stream. It just gives me somebody to talk to and chat with, and I'm happy to chat with you. And but reach out, and if you notice anybody who is struggling on their own, help them. I think half the battle is just knowing that you're not alone, knowing that people care about you, and knowing that it can get better. So I'll leave you with that. Thanks for tuning in. If you're not already, hit that follow button. And I will see you later. Take care. Hope to see you guys later, or definitely Friday when we're doing the tournament. Take care. Bye.